let us go on a visit to several of the camps, and you will see for yourselves the happiness that prevails. Our first stop is at Gurukh Camp, where we see the girls who, tired of hunting for the tail of the bag, which they had heard so much about, are now devoting their energies to aquatic sports. We take the steamer from Gurukh, and after a sail through the lovely Isles of Bute, we disembark at Finnabruach Camp, which is here depicted. This camp was situated on the hill, and the boys had a magnificent view of the far-famed Isles of Bute. Amid this scenery of unsurpassed beauty, the boys spent their fortnight's holiday.
This is the Regal Theatre Saltcoats. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you for your presence here tonight and can assure you it will always be my earnest endeavor to give you the best possible programs. Again, I thank you and wish you all good night.
Here's the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check and the postal order.
This is the night mail crossing the border, bringing the check and the postal order, letters for the rich, letters for the poor, the shop at the corner and the girl next door, pulling up beat took a steady climb, the gradients against her, but she's on time. Past cotton grass and moorland boulder, shoveling white steam over her shoulder, snorting noisily as she passes, silent miles of wind-bent grasses. Birds turn their heads as she approaches, stare from the bushes at her blank-faced coaches. Sheepdogs cannot turn her course, they slumber on with paws across. In the farm she passes, no one wakes, but a jug in a bedroom gently shakes.
Bringing buyers from the south in 6.5 hours. Out from Stirling, the gateway to the north, new roads have been driven through Killiecrankie to Inverness, over the Dee to Aberdeen, bringing the Highland capitals into closer contact with the industrial nerve centres. Even between the crags of Glencoe, where the Campbells massacred the MacDonalds, a marvel of modern road building has opened up a new way to the lochs and islands of the west.
Children of Scotland, it is a great thing to be a Scot, and it is a great thing to be taught in our Scottish schools. We are providing better buildings, playing fields, gymnasiums, playgrounds, pictures and music. The schools are now as bright as they once were grim, and what they teach you in them is far more sensible and human than it was.
Green's Playhouse greets you and extends to you a most hearty welcome. In constructing the playhouse, every care has been taken to give Dundee a picture house of the very finest and in keeping with the traditions of this great city.
The lessons are the same as those which the pupils remember from their city school days. Cally House provides for a full curriculum of secondary education, and pupils learn English, languages, science, mathematics, and all the other subjects usually taught at a Scottish secondary school. Domestic science is an important part of school activity, and it's useful for the boys to learn some of the hard facts of life.
Locomotives are the key to victory. Production of a utility engine is now underway at a works in Scotland. RAF loco busting not only draws the lifeblood of enemy transport, it raises a problem for us when we invade Europe. Designers working to Ministry of Supply orders got out plans for an austerity locomotive for use first on British railways, then overseas with the invading armies.
Hello, chums. This is your old pal, Father Christmas. Yes, Christmas is here again. Christmas 1943. I haven't been seeing much of you lately, have I? This blinking war's upset a lot of things. Never mind. God love it, do you remember the good times we used to have? Boy, shall we go crackers when this blinking war's over. I'll say we shall. But still, never mind. We may not be cooking a turkey this year, but we do know we've cooked Hitler's goose. And so, chums, the of this theatre have asked me to pop in and give you their Christmas greeting. I also want to send greetings to our fighting forces, to every man and woman serving at home or abroad, on land, on the sea, or in the air. God bless them all.
Eggs have come out of their shells these days. They've changed from this to this, and come to you every 4 weeks now. 1 packet, 12 eggs for 1 and 3. Can anyone beat that? Not you, Mama. Sit down. There he goes, stepping out for the first time. But how far he'll go in the future depends on his bones now. He needs vitamin D, cod liver oil, and you can get it with his green ration book. Build him up now, then one day he'll go like this.
Coal! There's Blackburn coal! Coal! 3 shillings a bag coal!
Here's one of your film favorites, Joan Bennett, with her producer husband, Walter Wanger. Sir Alexander King welcomes them to the film festival. This is the hour when the autograph hunters strike. But in Edinburgh, at least, this youthful affliction is of a benign variety, and I'm told that there have been very few serious casualties. One assailant has captured Matilda Dobbs on her way to sing in the opera. And I don't think Richard Burton and Claire Bloom will escape. not the first time it's happened to them, evidently. They're on their way to play in Hamlet at the Assembly Hall on the Apron stage.
By narrow seaways and offshore islands, from one moment of wonder to another, they sail at last into the harbor of Portree, the capital of Skye. Some have come with high adventure in their rucksacks, some to see the island life, but all with freedom in their minds. For time here is not the time you go by, but the time you remember. The life of the ordinary people has had its desolate times too. But out of the old ruins comes the new white house on the hill. For the land remains where the seed is sown. In the old days it was sown by hand, but Skye is full of dramatic contrasts, not only in nature, but in man's labors. In agriculture, as in tweed weaving and other occupations, the ancient methods may be found alongside the most up-to-date. And out of the primeval bog is cut the peat that dries in the sun and provides fuel for a year.
The nose whips into the coiler at nearly 30 miles an hour.
720, Andy.
"400 feet away, the tail is still easing into the finishing stands.
Okay, Senate Troop. I think it's Charles out with a shape this time. Johnny's way.
The second city of the empire had run out of space. Its air and river were polluted, its social problems enormous. It had to change. In 1960, work began on the biggest urban redevelopment program in Europe, a 20-year program involving 5 square miles, a 12th of the city's area. Between 1960 and 1970, 52,000 houses were demolished in Glasgow. A further 75,000 are scheduled for demolition up to 1980. To make room for new life in the city, for new houses, industries, schools and colleges, hospitals, social and cultural amenities, for new roads linking a planned and integrated community. Noise, dust, confusion, the sometimes painful transformation of familiar landmarks. This is Charing Cross.
P-E-R-W-I-N-K-L-E. Excuse me. Hello?
The rowing game has been described as bowls on ice, and that's a fair enough description. The roaring, of course, refers to the sound made by the stone in motion. The rules have been kept short and simple. 4 players in a team, 2 stones to a player. And the object is to place the stone as near as possible to the tee or mark at the other end of the rink. The first law of delivery is that the stone must be thrown. It's not good enough to slide or push it, but it's a fine distinction. Some people might say it's only the Scots who could make an art of throwing stones.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, I can't get in. Shot!
I've filmed in most of the world's great cities, which makes coming home here all the better. To me, Edinburgh seems to have been built as a film set. Take this particular backdrop from ancient Greece. Edinburgh's own Parthenon, the Athens of the North. But in Edinburgh, the classic and the romantic are never far apart. Like this classical temple in memory of that most romantic poet of the Doric, Robert Burns. It's a city where these two historical forces seem to fuse into one. Edinburgh's history is Scotland's history. At Holyrood, once the home of Scottish kings and Mary, Queen of Scots, it's part of Europe's history too.
Naughty, naughty. He's always hanging around these joints.
This is where you find all the best meat and poultry. Fred Ballard, 152 King Street, Castle Douglas.
For you. For you. For you. The finest mineral waters are from W&W McMichael, Dunedin Road, East Riggs, Annan.
Hear the band give with that beat. After the dance, our favorite treat. A double value, double size, double top. American cola. American double up cola.
That was good.
Bluebell margarine, always good. 11p per half-pound at your Co-op.
When you go for your breakfast, be sure you always take a good plate of Unitas breakfast oats. The value of them lies in the fact they're appetizing, and eating them good health in you promotes. When once you taste their flavor, forevermore you'll favor Unitas breakfast oats.
In £1 and £2 packets at your Co-op. Full dividend.
Come cooperative shopping for extra good value for money, top quality and full dividend. This week's special offer, save 3p on SP sauce and tomato ketchup at your Co-op. Come cooperative shopping. Get full dividend, extra good value for money and top quality. This week's special offer, save 3p on lemon curd. Get yours at your Co-op now.
My Co-op for value, away with your troubles and strife. A happy shopper is a Co-opper, a well-contented wife. Forget not the dividend every time you shop at the best place of all, your Co-op, Co-op.
For service, quality and value, shop at the Co-op. Remember the dividend.
That's the attitude of most parents, and it's the policy that ABC adopt too, with their Saturday Miners matinees. Just look at those happy faces. They're certainly going to enjoy the fun while their parents get on with the Saturday shopping. It all starts here with the shooting of films which are produced specially for youngsters with the help of the Children's Film Foundation. It may well be an exciting historical adventure like this, the thrills and spills of Australian surfboat racing, a popular comedy classic, or a favorite cartoon. And there's one in every Miners Matinee program.
I thought I saw a putty cat. I did saw a putty cat.
Each picture is specially chosen to suit all youngsters. There's always a friendly welcome, and the ABC manager sees that the children are in capable hands with the senior boys and girls as monitors helping the theatre staff. On the stage, there may sometimes be a special treat when a well-known star comes along to entertain. Often, supporting the films, are talent contests and fancy dress parades. Not forgetting such important things as road safety, all presented in an entertaining way. And every week, ABC remembers the lucky girls and boys whose birthday it is. With price of admission so reasonable, this is wonderful value.
Unit.